Hey everybody, welcome to WOW and happy 4th of July. This is a day of celebration. Uh, most of you that I am able to speak into your life, you appreciate the country as well as I. I am on the way to northern Oklahoma to do a service this morning, and I pulled over to do the WOW. So be sure and pass this around if you're able to. If you don't know how, as I am not the tech person either, that's the reason I have people do it for me. But find you somebody and say, hey, how do I share this? Somebody needs to hear it. So thank you for being a part of the ministry and all that you do to let this ministry carry a voice you think others need to hear. And that's what your support does. And I certainly appreciate it very, very much. But again, thank you so much for everything. And this is a day to celebrate, not just with fireworks. Many people say they love this country, but a lot of them only love it when they can make it what they think it ought to be. It even, which some of you that are old enough, this kind of day and time you never even dreamed of, when you have numbnuts and just, everybody's entitled to their opinion. The problem is when you vote, vote for somebody that's halfway sane, and they do not carry, they don't have to think just like you, but at least have the same morals as you. And so, it is a different kind of day, and we love this country because the history of this country, it showed blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice. And yes, there were some things. Could we redo it? We would redo it, but that's called life. We all have a past. And so if you don't like your past, let's just teach a different history where you can blame your past on someone else and your future on someone else. They call it the critical race theory. If you have the opportunity to stand against that, and again, I don't agree with everything some of our people that came before us. And when I say our people, I'm not talking white man, I'm talking black man, white man, Indian man, whatever. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there's neither black nor white, there's neither male nor female. We are all one in Christ Jesus. But you can tear down all the monuments you want to, but you're not going to change history. You can do this and do that, but you're not going to change history. You can only change your future, not your past. And so if you're dealing with someone that's trying to change the past, I would say smile and just pray. And you stand for what is right. But for all of you that are watching and listening, thank you. If you were military, a Blue Star mom, thank you for your service. Thank you for your kindness to help others whom only in eternity would you meet. But I thank you very much. I do have a service to get to, so I won't hold you long. I started last week, I talked about love. And if you did not get to see that episode, please go back and check it out again. And I want to go a little deeper into love, and I'm going to teach a whole lot deeper on that this morning in the service. But the Bible expresses 3 categories of love. The Apostle Paul said in the book of Galatians, when he wrote his letter to the Christians at Galatia, he said, faith works by love. And so that really spoke to me. I've read it, I've quoted it for years, but I was made aware of it. And for years, I tried to get people to build their faith. But in actuality, if you'll become aware of the love that's inside of you, faith is not the problem. You already have all the faith you need because you live according to the faith of Jesus Christ. And I see you guys chiming in. Thank you so, so much. But the three measures of love noted in the scriptures are agape, phileo, and eros. Those are the Greek into the English words agape, phileo, and eros. Now, you know, and I go to this, but in John the 21st chapter, starting around the 15th verse, you'll remember it when I start talking about it. Jesus asked Peter, he said, "Do you love me?" And when you read the Bible, you don't just read it, you have to study it. Because that word love, Jesus said it 3 times, Peter said it 3 times. But that English word love has one of those 3 meanings I just mentioned. It's either agape love, phileo love, or eros love. And so when Jesus said, "Do you love me?" Let me say it this way. Do you agape me? Well, what is agape love? Agape love is unconditional love, like the Father has toward us, Father God has toward us. There is nothing we can do to change how He feels about us. That's agape love. That is parental love. My boys, I may not appreciate everything they do, but I'll never stop loving them. I may not love what they do, but I love who they are. That is the Father's type of love. I've had many people tell me over these 31 years of ministry in churches, for crying out loud, "Oh, we love you, we love you." But if you do something they don't like, where's the love? Where's the love? So that's not agape love. So, I know it's a kind thing to say, "Oh, I love you." But do you know how to show love? Because a lot of people don't even know what dimension of love they have with that person. And sadly to say, there are a lot of marriages that's only in the first stage of love. And hence, it's always problems. So understand the agape love is the godlike love that says, "Honey, I love you even if you ballooned up. I love you if you had to, by accident, lose a limb. I love you." Who was it? Conway Twitty. I'm kind of the old school country guy. This new rap country is not my thing, but that's just me. Conway Twitty. And I won't sing the whole song because you may be religious and this could be offensive. But the 3rd verse of that song, he made the statement, "When a whole lot of Decembers are showing in your face, your auburn hair is faded and silver takes its place." See, can you still love that person when they change? Can you love the changes in that person? That's agape love, okay? Agape, in psychological terms, agape love is the intimate love. It's the unconditional love that God has for us, okay? It's intimacy. And eros love is the passionate love. That's kind of that is the sexual content of love. That is the physical form of love. It's the usual term that is used in a marriage covenant, but it's still not a love that will last. Okay? So that's the eros love. And the phileo love, which simply means commitment. So here, follow me on this. Agape is intimacy. Eros is passion. And phileo is commitment. And so phileo love is this. The best way I can describe it is it's the type of love that we ought to have toward our friends and pretty much toward everyone else. It's this feeling, it's this feeling of affection and friendship we have for others. Okay? See, I have friends, and then I have just really good friends. And I can tell you, there are some friends I have a phileo love. I'm committed to be their friend. Some people that told me I was their friend, they don't act like my friend now. And that's fine. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But this phileo love is the type of love that it's the feeling of affection. It's just friendship we have for others. It's like in the book of 1 Samuel, I think it's around the 18th chapter, when David stood before Saul after he had the head of Goliath in his hands, and Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as much as himself. That is phileo love. Jonathan did not have a eros love. He did not have a passionate, oh, I want to be with you kind of love. That's no, homie, don't play that game. That was not the kind of love. You can love someone and not want to sleep with them. I don't know how else to say it. You can have a phileo without having an eros, okay? But a true eros means that I have passion for you. Well, that's usually in the marital area. Now it can go, the definition can go farther. But this phileo love is just, I'm committed to be your friend. If I told you I'm your friend, that means I can give you my opinion, whether you adhere to it or not. You will hear my opinion. I'll listen to yours, whether I adhere to it or not. And I'm not going to judge you otherwise. I'm not going to make you do what I think you ought to do in order to keep being your friend. They can say they love you, but that is not love. So Jesus, understanding that, agape means intimacy, phileo means commitment, and eros means passion. Now we can understand what Jesus was saying to Peter when he used those words love, and Peter used those words love back to him. Jesus said, Peter, do you agape me? Are you intimate with me? What intensity of love do you have for me? Well, Mark, why did Jesus ask Peter if he loved him 3 times? Well, if you just read that, you could be a little annoyed. You could be a little bit annoyed, and that's just my personality and demeanor. Don't stay on me about something. I got it. It's in my head. Don't ask me 100 times. Remind me, but don't keep asking. And that's just my demeanor. You may not be built that way and wired that way, but I am. And so when Jesus asked Peter 3 times, Peter's getting a little perturbed now. But in the beginning, he said, Peter, do you agape me? Are you intimate with me? In other words, do you know my thoughts? Do you know my plans? Do you know my actions? Are you for me and not against me, no matter what? And he said, yes, Lord, you know I love you. Well, that should have been enough, Mark. No, that word love that Peter used was phileo. In other words, I am fond of you like a friend. That was not the question Jesus was asking. He was saying, are you committed to me? And Peter said, well, I'm your friend. And then he asked him a second time. He said, Simon, do you agape me? Are you committed to me? And he said, yes, Lord. You know I phileo you. I told you I'm fond of you and I like you. And Jesus asked him again. And he said, and it's almost funny because Peter doesn't know how to take the question. All he's hearing is the word love. He doesn't know the context Jesus was saying it in. Then the third time, he said, do you phileo me? Oh, he didn't say agape that time. So why did Jesus ask him 3 times? Because only you can reveal your intensity of love to God. So when Jesus the third time said, do you phileo me? He was getting Peter in agreement with what stage of love he had for God. He said, do you phileo me? So you're fond of me, you love me like a friend. And Peter answered and said, I phileo you. See, God's going to start asking you, are you really intimate with me? Do you want to be passionate with me? Or are you just my friend? Because I'm one that sticks closer than a brother. What level of love you walk in is what level of faith you walk in. Don't try to build your faith if you have don't think, oh, I'm going to arrive at the greatest faith in my thinking if you're still in the phileo mentality with God. Don't think, well, I get passionate with God. That's not enough. You need to graduate into the agape type love. So, Jesus understood. Now, understand this. Jesus went on to tell Peter, you'll deny 3 times that you even know me. And Peter's like, I wouldn't do that. Oh, yes, you will, because you've only identified as my friend, not my lover, not my oneness, not my cohort, not my spouse. You've only identified as a friend, so you can throw me under the bus. I hope this is helping you guys. So, when Jesus told Peter, you're going to deny me, how could Peter deny Jesus? How could that happen? Because he only loved him with a phileo love at that time. Now, his love grew, no doubt, it grew. I agree with that. But at this stage in his life, this was the only love he had for Christ. A friendship type love. That's the reason he could deny him. Remember, I told you, I've had friends say, oh, we love you, we love you. But opportunities to deny someone to deny you proves if they were phileo love or just that was the right thing to say. And everyone that's lived long enough, you've experienced that. I don't have any crying your beer stories. I mean, have we all been done what we perceive as wrong? Of course we have. But when we say this battle is not mine, it's the Lord's, that battle is not mine, it's the Lord's. Jesus was just letting Peter know, because you only phileo me, there is a good chance you're going to deny me when given the opportunity. As a matter of fact, you will deny me. Well, Mark, how do I intensify my commitment of love from phileo to eros to the ultimate agape love? Number one, you got to spend more time to get to know him. You can't just talk to him once a week and get to know him better. It doesn't mean you're not saved. It just means you don't really know him like he wants you to know him. Because prayer is not to request God to do something. Prayer is answering the phone for God to say something. That was good. Prayer is answering the phone for God to say something to you, okay? And so, have you ever heard a phone ring and you just don't quite want to talk to anybody, you don't want to pick it up? When you feel an urge to pray, it's God calling you. He wants to talk to you. Stop thinking every time you pray you're talking to God. You're answering the phone so he can talk to you. So instead of answering the phone, God, I need this, I need that, he's not a drive-through. You pray like this: Father, man, I love you. Anything you want to say to me, go ahead and put it in my head and my heart. Thanks, amen. Boom, there's your prayer. Oh my God, it didn't take 40 days of fasting and camel knees to get there. He's willing and able and so ready to talk. But hey, I would ask you what Jesus asked those people that day. Do you love me? No, come on. Do you love me? In other words, will you answer the phone no matter what's going on? So start spending more time with him. Listen to him as much as he listens to you. And begin to set aside some quiet time to just answer the phone. Okay? So I hope that helps you today. I told you I cut it a little bit short because I do have to get on the road. But you guys have an awesome weekend. Enjoy your family. For you government employees, you've got tomorrow off. Go have a good time. And remember, every day, answer the phone. Prayer, the desire to pray, is God ringing your phone. Okay? And so let's intensify love. Let's be careful who we say I love you. It's okay. And yeah, it can make a person feel good. But watch this. If you don't have that phileo love, your words will eventually be revealed. And then and you turn your back on them at some time, or you get on them for something at some time, or whatever happens, if they don't know any better, they're not going to trust love, because you told them you loved them and then you showed them you didn't. So just be careful. Jesus didn't go around telling everybody he healed, I love you, I love you, I love you. He was showing them miracles so they could fall in love with him. You have to go through the process of graduating to agape type love. It's already in you, but you have to become aware of it. Okay? So again, thank you guys for everything. Email me if you have any questions, markshellministries@gmail.com. And I say this every week, but it is so important that you partner with something bigger than you, okay? And I'm not saying Mark Shell Ministries is bigger than you. I am saying together we are strong, okay? And so I'll go to places you'll never go. But as you partner with this ministry, you get the credit for the good that took place in that area. So it's a simple fix. You go to markshellministries.com. There is a partner page. Boom. You're done. And I believe you'll enjoy it. I've had partners in the ministry for years, and I really, really, really appreciate your willingness to be a part of this. And I know for a lot of you, I'm your pastor on Sunday morning, because some of you are burnt out on religion. And I am all for getting in a community of believers, but I'm not going to go to a restaurant where I know they got food poisoning the last time somebody ate there. And so if you know what you believe and you're not afraid to be taught, don't be afraid to hear what you don't believe, okay? But always be challenged. And so I appreciate you allowing me to challenge you with these short teachings. And you guys be blessed, and be careful with the fireworks, and have a great time. And I will see you next week.